Hey everyone, welcome back to SwitchTop. If you're looking for games to unwind with after a long day, you're in the right place. Today we're counting down the top 35 best cozy games on Nintendo Switch for 2025. These are the games that help you relax, take things at your own pace, and just enjoy yourself without any pressure. Let's jump right in. Date Everything on Nintendo Switch is one of the most bizarre and creative dating sims you'll encounter. You play as a jobless protagonist who receives magical dataviator glasses, allowing you to date literally anything in your house, from lamps and couches to more abstract concepts like existential dread. The game features around 100 dateable characters, each fully voiced, with branching narratives that can lead to love, friendship, or rejection, depending on your choices. Gameplay revolves around selecting up to 5 characters per in-game day, navigating dialogue, and developing stats like charm or empathy to realize them in human form. What makes it stand out is how it balances absurd humor with surprisingly heartfelt character writing, giving each dateable personality unique quirks and stakes. While the abundance of characters can make some feel underdeveloped and pacing occasionally drags, the clever writing, voice acting, and experimental concept keep it engaging. For fans of dating sims who want something radically different, it delivers a weird, meta, and genuinely fun experience.
Existential dread. I think I'll pass on Doug. Can I fall in love with a lamp?
No way! Lux the lamp is all mine! But did you know that you could even date the game itself? Why don't I introduce you to Textbox-chan?
Engage in flirtatious, branching dialogue with these fully voiced characters.
Tempopo is one of those rare puzzle games that perfectly blends creativity, rhythm, and calm problem-solving into a deeply cozy experience. You play as a young conductor in a whimsical world where music and nature intertwine, guiding tiny flower-like creatures called Tempopo across floating islands. Each level is a carefully crafted puzzle, asking you to plan their paths, manipulate platforms, and create musical harmony through movement and timing. There's no rush or punishment for experimenting. Instead, the game encourages gentle trial and error, rewarding you with satisfying animations and melodic feedback when your plan comes together. The story unfolds quietly, centered around restoring balance to a lost garden of melodies, while the visuals paint a soft watercolor atmosphere that feels both relaxing and uplifting. Every solved puzzle doesn't just feel like progress, but like composing a small piece of music. It's a game that celebrates patience and creativity, making Tempopo a standout, cozy title on Switch. Rune Factory Guardians of Azuma feels like a refreshing step forward for the series, offering a more grounded yet magical take on life sim adventure. Set in a land scarred by corruption, you take on the role of an Earth Dancer, someone who restores harmony through both combat and care. The game strikes a satisfying rhythm between farming, exploration, and rebuilding, inviting players to nurture fields, raise creatures, and revive forgotten villages. Each area you restore adds new characters, crafting options, and small details that make the world feel alive. Combat plays smoothly, with elemental abilities and light action mechanics that fit naturally alongside the slower pace of daily life. What stands out most is how seamlessly the game blends personal connection with world restoration. Tending crops in the morning, venturing into mystical ruins by afternoon, then chatting with villagers at sunset. It's a cozy yet adventurous experience, perfect for players who enjoy games that grow alongside their own sense of progress. Hello Kitty Island Adventure brings Sanrio's iconic characters to a full 3D adventure game, where you restore an abandoned theme park island. You arrive on the island with Hello Kitty and friends to find it overgrown and in need of serious repair. So you set out exploring to bring it back to life. The gameplay centers on exploration and crafting. You'll gather materials like wood, stone, and flowers to build new structures and attractions across the island. Each Sanrio character has their own area and storyline that unlocks as you progress, with characters like My Melody, Cinema Roll, and Pompompurin all needing your help with different projects. You can customize your character with hundreds of clothing options and accessories, plus decorate the entire island with furniture and themed items. The game includes light puzzle elements, where you need to figure out what materials or items someone needs to progress their story. Minigames scattered around the island offer rewards and a nice break from gathering. There's no combat at all. The focus is entirely on creativity, exploration, and making the island beautiful again. The Legend of Zelda: Echoes of Wisdom flips the script by putting Princess Zelda in the playable role for the first time in a mainline game. Strange rifts have appeared across Hyrule, swallowing people and places into a mysterious void, and Link disappears early on while trying to save Zelda, leaving her to save the kingdom herself. Instead of using swords and traditional combat, Zelda wields the Tri-Rod, which lets her create echoes, magical copies of objects and enemies she's encountered. This creates a puzzle-solving approach to everything. You might copy a bed to create platforms, summon enemy echoes to fight for you, or duplicate a boulder to weigh down switches. The gameplay encourages creativity, since there are usually multiple solutions to any obstacle. You'll explore a top-down Hyrule that feels familiar but is structured differently from other Zelda games, with dungeons that require you to think about your Echo toolkit. Garden Paws lets you play as an adorable animal character who inherits their grandparents' farm and must rebuild it into a thriving business. The game starts with a simple farm plot, but quickly expands into managing multiple stores, exploring dungeons for resources, and helping the nearby town grow. You'll spend time planting and harvesting crops, raising animals like chickens and cows, and gathering resources from trees and rocks. The crafting system is deep. You can create everything from basic tools to elaborate furniture and decorations. Running stores is a unique aspect, where you actually stock shelves with items you've crafted or found, set prices, and watch NPCs come into shop. You can open multiple store types, including blacksmiths, bakeries, and potion shops. Exploration takes you into mines and dungeons where you collect rare materials. But combat is very simple and optional. The town grows as you complete requests from villagers, unlocking new areas and characters. Multiplayer lets friends join your farm to help with tasks or just hang out. Animal Crossing New Horizons puts you on a deserted island as part of a getaway package, where you'll transform empty land into your dream island community. You start with just a tent and a few basic tools, gradually unlocking the ability to terraform the land itself, shaping cliffs, rivers, and paths however you want. The game runs in real time, matching your actual clock and calendar, so the time of day and season in-game matches real life. Your main activities include catching bugs and fish for the museum, gathering materials like wood and stone, planting flowers and trees, and designing your island layout. Tom Nook provides goals through the early game, but eventually you're free to do whatever you want at your own pace. Island villagers are anthropomorphic animals with distinct personalities who move in over time. You can invite specific ones or let random ones arrive. The customization is incredibly deep, letting you design custom patterns for clothing and decorations, place thousands of furniture items anywhere outside, and even terraform entire sections of your island. Garden Story casts you as Concord, a young grape who becomes the new Guardian of the Grove, a community of fruit and vegetable people living in an island world threatened by a spreading decay called the Rot. Your job is to rebuild the community infrastructure, fight back the rot, and uncover what's causing it to spread. The gameplay combines light action combat with town building and resource management. You'll gather materials by chopping wood, mining rocks, and picking up items scattered around each island area. These resources go toward rebuilding structures, like bridges, wells, and notice boards that make each town more functional. Combat uses a simple system, where you swing your tool to hit enemies. There's no complicated combos or timing required. Each morning, you can accept daily requests from the community board, which give you goals like gathering certain materials or clearing rot from specific areas. The pixel art style is gorgeous, with detailed environments that change as you restore them from decay. Story of Seasons Pioneers of Olive Town gives you an overgrown, wild plot of land that used to be your grandfather's farm, and it's up to you to clear it and build a successful agricultural business. The early game focuses heavily on clearing trees, rocks, and debris to expand your usable farmland, which is satisfying as you gradually reclaim more space. You'll grow crops through the standard planting and watering cycle, raise animals in barns and coops, and process materials into more valuable goods like cheese and yarn. The town of Olive Town starts small but grows as you progress, with new shops and residents appearing as you complete certain milestones. You can romance and marry one of several eligible bachelors or bachelorettes through giving gifts and going on dates. Mining lets you explore deeper underground for rare ores and gems to sell or craft with. The Maker system lets you place machines around your farm to process raw materials into finished products, creating efficient production chains. Is This Seat Taken is a wonderfully cozy puzzle game that turns everyday seating arrangements into a surprisingly satisfying challenge. You play as Nat, traveling through different cities and venues, tasked with seating a variety of characters who each have unique preferences and quirks. Some might dislike sitting near loud chatter, others need to be near a window, and a few have more whimsical demands that require careful planning. The gameplay revolves around gently experimenting with placements, observing how each character reacts, and adjusting until everyone is comfortable. There's a calm rhythm to each scenario, no timers or harsh penalties, just the quiet satisfaction of finding a solution that works. The visuals are charming, filled with small details that bring each room to life, while the light narrative gives purpose to your seating puzzles without ever feeling forced. It's a game that encourages patience, observation, and creativity, turning what could be a simple logic exercise into a relaxing, thoughtful experience that's perfect for winding down on the Switch. Tinykin is a 3D platformer where you play as Milo, a tiny astronaut who returns to Earth in the year 1991, only to find himself shrunk down to the size of an ant in a mysterious house with no humans around. The gameplay revolves around exploring massive household environments, like kitchens, living rooms, and bathrooms, from a tiny perspective, where everyday objects become huge obstacles and platforms. You collect and command different colored Tinykin, small creatures that follow you around and help solve puzzles. Pink ones can explode to break objects, green ones stack to create bridges, and blue ones conduct electricity. The platforming feels smooth, with a soap grinding mechanic that lets you slide on rails and lines throughout each room. There's no combat at all. You just explore, collect items, and figure out how to reach new areas using your growing army of Tinykin. Each room is packed with secrets and collectibles that reward thorough exploration. Discounty is one of those cozy management sims that immediately draws you in with its charming simplicity and meaningful routines. You play as a newcomer who inherits a small store in the quiet town of Blomkest, where every item on the shelf and every customer interaction tells a small story. The gameplay revolves around running and expanding your shop, organizing displays, managing stock, setting deals, and balancing the store's atmosphere. But it's also about connecting with the townsfolk who visit. Each resident has their own habits, quirks, and reasons for shopping. And as you get to know them, your role grows beyond just running a business. The game's rhythm is unhurried and satisfying. Mornings spent arranging produce, afternoons chatting with locals, evenings reflecting on your progress. Discounty captures the joy of small successes, a perfectly timed sale, a grateful customer, a new friendship, and turns them into moments of quiet fulfillment. It's the kind of game that feels warm, genuine, and hard to put down. Beacon Pines is a storybook adventure where you help a young deer named Luca uncover dark secrets in his seemingly peaceful hometown. The game plays like a visual novel, but with a unique twist. You collect charm words throughout the story that can be placed at key decision points to change how events unfold. When you reach a branching point in the narrative, you can select different words to create new phrases that lead the story in different directions. This lets you explore multiple storylines and see different outcomes without replaying everything from scratch. The story deals with Luca investigating strange happenings around town after his friend discovers something mysterious in an abandoned warehouse. The hand-drawn storybook art style brings the characters and environments to life with a warm, illustrated quality. There's no combat or difficult gameplay. It's all about experiencing the story, making choices, and uncovering the truth behind what's happening in Beacon Pines.
A sturdy old wheelbarrow.
Harvest Moon: One World sends you on a journey across different regions to discover why crops have stopped growing in your homeland and find the harvest goddess who has disappeared. Unlike most farming games that keep you in one location, this one has you traveling between distinct areas, like tropical beaches, desert oases, and snowy mountains, each with their own towns and farmland. The core farming mechanics involve tilling soil, planting seeds, watering crops, and raising animals. But you'll also gather special seeds, called seedlings, that can only be planted in specific environments. You can set up farms in each region, and fast travel between them, managing multiple plots of land. Marriage and relationships work like previous Harvest Moon games, with eligible bachelors and bachelorettes to befriend through conversations and gifts. The game includes mining, fishing, and festivals throughout the year. You'll also help townspeople with requests and slowly piece together what happened to cause the crop crisis. Spiritfarer casts you as Stella, a fairy master for the deceased who sails a magical boat across a mystical ocean, picking up spirits and helping them find peace before they move on to the afterlife. The gameplay combines resource management with exploration and relationship building. You'll grow crops on your boat, cook meals, build structures for your spirit passengers, and gather materials from islands you visit. Each spirit has their own personality, story, and needs. Some want specific foods, others need you to build them workshops or rooms. The platforming lets you jump and glide around your boat and the islands you explore. As you help spirits complete their unfinished business and prepare them for departure, you learn about their lives and regrets through touching conversations. The hand-drawn art style is beautiful, and the game deals with themes of death and letting go in a gentle, comforting way. There's no combat or failure states, just a peaceful journey helping others find closure while managing your floating home. Littlewood starts after the hero, that's you, has already saved the world but lost their memories of the adventure. Now you're rebuilding a destroyed town from scratch, creating a peaceful home for yourself and the people who helped you during your forgotten quest. The gameplay gives you complete freedom to design your town however you want, placing houses, shops, farms, and decorations anywhere. You'll gather resources by chopping trees, mining, fishing, and foraging, then use them to craft items and buildings. Unlike most farming games, there's no time pressure. Days only advance when you've used all your energy, so you can play at your own pace. Relationships with villagers develop through conversations and gift-giving, eventually leading to marriage if you choose. You can farm, fish, catch bugs, and complete requests from townspeople to earn resources. The pixel art style is colorful and cheerful, and there's something relaxing about watching your town grow from nothing into a bustling community that reflects your design choices. Fae Farm takes place on a magical island where you arrive to start a new farming life, and quickly discover the land is being affected by mysterious pollution that you need to help cleanse. The farming mechanics are smooth and satisfying, letting you grow seasonal crops, raise animals, and gather resources to craft better tools and equipment. You'll explore dungeons called jumbles, where you fight simple enemies and gather magical materials needed for potions and spells. The magic system lets you brew potions, craft spells, and even fly around the island once you unlock the right abilities. Character creation is extensive, with lots of appearance options, and you can romance any of the eligible villagers regardless of your character's gender. The multiplayer lets up to 4 players farm together on the same island, which is great for playing with friends. Seasonal festivals and events keep things fresh throughout the year. The art style uses vibrant colors and a whimsical fantasy aesthetic that makes the island feel like a storybook come to life. Story of Seasons, Friends of Mineral Town is a remake of a classic farming game, where you inherit your grandfather's old farm in the small town of Mineral Town, and work to restore it to its former glory. The farming gameplay follows the traditional cycle of clearing land, planting seeds, watering daily, and harvesting crops that you can sell or use in recipes. You'll raise chickens, cows, and sheep in barns and coops, producing eggs, milk, and wool to sell or process into more valuable products. Mining takes you deep underground, where you gather ore and gems while managing your stamina and tools. The town is filled with memorable characters you can befriend and eventually marry, with both the original marriage candidates and some new additions in this remake. Festivals happen throughout the year, giving you chances to compete in contests or celebrate with townspeople. The pixel art has been beautifully updated while keeping the charm of the original. There's something timeless about the simple loop of waking up, taking care of your farm, and interacting with the close-knit community that makes this so relaxing to play. My Time at Sandrock drops you into a desert town as a new builder, tasked with helping the community grow and survive in the harsh environment. The game focuses heavily on crafting and building. You'll gather resources, process them in various machines, and assemble everything from furniture to machinery for townspeople. The crafting system is detailed, with assembly stations where you manually put pieces together, giving you a hands-on feeling. Combat exists when you explore ruins for rare materials, but it's action-based and not too difficult. Building relationships with the colorful cast of characters happens through conversations, gifts, and completing their personal requests. You can romance and marry several candidates while also forming strong friendships with others. Your workshop expands over time as you take on bigger commissions and unlock new crafting recipes and machines. The story involves uncovering the history of Sandrock and dealing with threats to the town's survival. Tavern Talk puts you behind the bar of a fantasy tavern where you serve drinks to adventurers, locals, and travelers while listening to their stories and problems. You play as a bartender who mixes drinks based on customer preferences and the effects they need. Some want courage for an upcoming quest, others need comfort after a loss. The drink mixing system lets you combine ingredients to create cocktails that affect people's moods and abilities in subtle ways. Customers come in throughout each evening shift, and through conversations you learn about their lives, relationships, and the problems facing the kingdom. Your responses and the drinks you serve can influence what happens in their stories, though the game never makes you feel pressured to give perfect answers. Between shifts, you hear about the results of your advice as customers return with updates. The pixel art creates a cozy tavern atmosphere with warm lighting and detailed character portraits. Animal Well is a pixel art exploration game where you wake up in a mysterious underground world filled with strange creatures and ancient mechanisms. There's no text or explicit story. Instead, you piece together what's happening through environmental clues and the bizarre animals you encounter. The gameplay focuses on exploration and puzzle solving, using items like a bubble wand, yo-yo, and frisbee that have multiple creative uses beyond what you'd expect. You'll navigate through interconnected caverns where each screen is carefully designed with secrets and hidden paths that reward curiosity. The game has layers of depth where returning to earlier areas with new items reveals completely new routes and discoveries. Puzzles range from simple switch pulling to complex sequences that require understanding how different items interact with the environment. The atmosphere is both peaceful and slightly eerie, with ambient sounds and detailed pixel animations bringing the underground ecosystem to life. Unpacking is a zen puzzle game about taking items out of boxes and placing them in your new home as you move through different stages of life. There's no dialogue or text-based story, but you learn about the main character through the objects they own and where they're moving to. Each level presents a new living space, from a childhood bedroom to college dorms to apartments you share with roommates or partners. The gameplay is simple. You click on boxes to pull out items and find appropriate places to put them, like hanging clothes in closets or arranging books on shelves. The game gently guides you by highlighting spots in red if items are placed incorrectly, but gives you freedom in how you organize within reason. You'll notice new items appearing and old ones disappearing as years pass, telling a subtle story about growing up and changing relationships. The pixel art is incredibly detailed, with satisfying sounds for placing each object type. There's something meditative about the act of organizing and decorating each space, while piecing together whose life you're unpacking and what they're going through during each move. Tiny Bookshop is a gentle, heartwarming life sim that invites you to run your own traveling, secondhand bookstore in a quiet seaside town. You spend your days arranging shelves, discovering new titles, and chatting with locals whose lives subtly intertwine with your growing business. Each decision, from what books you stock to how you decorate your tiny shop, shapes how the townsfolk respond, encouraging you to think carefully about the community you're building. Between market trips, deliveries, and personal moments with customers, the game captures the joy of small connections and quiet progress. There's no pressure or rush. Instead, the focus is on the rhythm of everyday life, where every new face brings a story and every sale feels personal. The art style radiates warmth, with soft pastel tones and cozy seaside backdrops that perfectly match the game's reflective tone. Tiny Bookshop isn't just about running a store. It's about slowing down, listening, and finding comfort in the little moments that make life meaningful. Cat Café Manager puts you in charge of renovating and running a cat cafe in a quiet village after inheriting the place from your grandmother. The gameplay combines cafe management with cat care. You'll adopt rescue cats, give them food and attention, and watch as they interact with customers who visit. You serve drinks and snacks to customers while making sure the cats are happy and healthy. Each cat has its own personality and preferences that affect how they behave with visitors. Customers who bond with specific cats will become regulars, bringing in more income and unlocking story events. You can expand your cafe by adding new furniture, decorations, and rooms as you earn money. The game includes a light story about the village and its residents, with characters visiting your cafe and sharing their problems. You'll complete requests from townspeople and unlock new recipes and cat breeds. The art style uses a charming, hand-drawn look that makes both the cats and customers adorable.
Cozy Grove casts you as a spirit scout, camping on a haunted island inhabited by ghostly bears who need your help finding peace. The game plays in real time like Animal Crossing, with the day progressing based on your actual clock, and new content appearing each real day. Your main job is talking to the bear spirits, completing their requests, and gathering resources to help restore color to the monochrome island. As you help spirits, the areas around them burst into color and life, gradually transforming the island. You'll gather materials by picking up items, fishing, and collecting from trees and rocks that respawn daily. Decorating your campsite and the areas around spirits is a big part of the experience, with hundreds of furniture items and decorations to place. Each bear has an ongoing storyline that unfolds over days or weeks as you complete their quests and learn about their lives and regrets. The hand-drawn art style is beautiful, with expressive character animations.
Disney Dreamlight Valley drops you into a magical village once inhabited by Disney and Pixar characters, but now covered in dark thorns and forgotten. You play as someone who can restore the valley and help classic characters like Mickey Mouse, Moana, and WALL-E return to their homes. The gameplay mixes life simulation with exploration. You'll farm crops, mine for resources, fish, cook meals, and decorate the valley. Each Disney character has their own storyline and friendship level that unlocks through conversations, gifts, and completing quests for them. You can customize your avatar extensively and design both interior and exterior spaces throughout the valley. The game includes realms you can visit that are themed after specific Disney movies, where you recruit new characters to come live in the valley. Crafting lets you create furniture and decorations with Disney themes to make your valley unique. New characters and content are added regularly through updates.
a break from exploring, feel free to stop at any of the many ponds, rivers, and beaches in Dreamlight Valley for a little bit of fun going fishing. Or you can take a moment to grow a garden. You'll need to choose a good spot for it first. Then plant some seeds,
Firewatch puts you in the role of Henry, a man who takes a job as a fire lookout in the Wyoming wilderness to escape his troubled life in 1989. The game starts with text-based choices that shape Henry's backstory and his reasons for isolating himself in the forest. Once you arrive at your tower, your only human contact is Delilah, your supervisor, who communicates through a handheld radio. The gameplay involves hiking through the beautiful forest, following your map and compass to investigate mysterious occurrences around the park. You'll discover evidence of something strange happening in the woods, from teenagers causing trouble to more sinister findings. Your relationship with Delilah develops through radio conversations, where you can choose different responses, creating a genuine connection, despite never meeting face-to-face. The first-person exploration focuses on navigating the wilderness, examining objects, and making dialogue choices that affect how the story unfolds. The art style uses a stylized, painterly look that makes the forest gorgeous to explore.
Hello, Two Forks Tower.
Hello? Whoever this is?
It's Henry, right?
Coffee Talk places you behind the counter of a late-night coffee shop in an alternate Seattle, where fantasy races like elves, orcs, and werewolves live alongside humans. You play as the barista, who serves drinks and listens to customers share their problems during the quiet hours. The gameplay centers on making drinks by combining ingredients like coffee, tea, milk, and spices to fulfill customer orders or create something based on their mood. Customers come in throughout each shift and talk about their lives, relationships, and the issues facing society. Your dialogue choices during conversations can influence how customers feel and sometimes affect their situations outside the cafe. The game explores themes like prejudice, ambition, and love through the diverse cast of characters who become regulars. Between nights, you can check social media to see updates from customers and how events are progressing. My time at Portia puts you in the role of a new builder arriving in the town of Portia to take over your father's neglected workshop. The game focuses heavily on crafting and gathering. You'll chop trees, mine for resources, and process materials in various machines to complete commissions for townspeople. The crafting system is detailed, with assembly stations where you manually combine parts to create everything from bridges to furniture. You'll explore abandoned ruins using your scanner to find relics and treasure, while fighting simple enemies. Building relationships happens through daily interactions, giving gifts and playing minigames with the diverse cast of characters. You can romance and marry several eligible bachelors and bachelorettes while maintaining friendships with everyone in town. Your workshop expands as you take on bigger projects and unlock better equipment and machines. The story involves uncovering the history of the old world and dealing with threats to Portia's future. Untitled Goose Game casts you as a mischievous goose, terrorizing a peaceful English village with pranks and chaos. There's no dialogue or complex story. You're simply a goose who wakes up and chooses violence in the form of honking, stealing, and causing general mayhem. The gameplay gives you a to-do list of pranks to pull off in each area, like stealing a gardener's keys, trapping a boy in a phone booth, or ruining a fancy garden party. You waddle around, flap your wings, honk loudly to startle people, and grab objects in your beak to drag them away. The villagers react dynamically to your chaos, trying to reclaim stolen items or chase you away from areas you shouldn't be in. Figuring out how to accomplish each task requires observation and timing, since you're just a goose with limited abilities.
The areas are designed like puzzle sandboxes where you experiment with different approaches. The game has a delightful sense of humor in how seriously the villagers take your goose crimes. Stardew Valley starts with you inheriting your grandfather's old farm in Pelican Town after burning out from corporate life, giving you a fresh start in the countryside. The gameplay loop involves clearing your overgrown land, planting and watering crops each day, raising animals like chickens and cows, and gathering resources from the surrounding areas. You'll explore mines filled with monsters and valuable ores, fish in different locations throughout the seasons, and forage for items in the forest. The town is filled with unique characters you can befriend through conversations and gifts, with 12 marriage candidates to romance if you choose. Social events and festivals happen throughout the year, giving you goals to work toward and ways to bond with townspeople. The crafting system lets you create machines that process raw materials into more valuable goods, building efficient farm layouts. You can restore the old community center by completing bundles of items, which unlocks new areas and improvements for the town. Story of Seasons Grand Bazaar is a standout, cozy experience on Switch that blends traditional farming with a unique, market-focused twist. You step into a quiet mountain town where the local bazaar has grown dormant, and it's up to you to restore its vibrancy while managing your own farm. The gameplay is a satisfying balance of cultivating crops, raising animals, and crafting products, all of which feed directly into your stall at the bazaar. Customizing your displays, deciding which goods to stock, and interacting with townsfolk create a rewarding loop that feels both strategic and personal. Beyond the mechanics, the town itself is full of life. Villagers with distinct personalities, seasonal events, and opportunities to form friendships add depth without overwhelming the relaxed pace. Each day flows naturally, from tending fields in the morning to engaging with customers and exploring the surroundings, making the game feel like a living, breathing world. Grand Bazaar turns routine tasks into meaningful progress, crafting a soothing rhythm that's perfect for players who enjoy gentle, rewarding experiences.
There! There!
Snufkin. Melody of Moominvalley follows the wandering musician Snufkin as he returns to Moominvalley for spring and finds the area overrun by park keepers who have posted restrictive signs everywhere. The gameplay focuses on exploration and puzzle solving as you help restore freedom to the valley by removing signs and helping the various Moomin characters with their problems. You play your harmonica to learn melodies from nature and creatures, which can then be used to solve environmental puzzles and interact with the world. Stealth mechanics come into play as you sneak past park keepers to pull up their forbidden signs without getting caught. The game captures the philosophical, gentle nature of the Moomin stories, with themes about freedom, friendship, and living simply. You'll fish, forage, and camp in different locations, while meeting beloved characters like Moomin Troll and Little Mai. The hand-drawn art style perfectly recreates Tove Jansson's original illustrations, with soft colors and expressive animations. There's no combat or failure states if a park keeper spots you, you just get sent back to your camp. The focus is entirely on peaceful exploration, helping others, and enjoying the beauty of the valley through the seasons. A short hike drops you on an island as a young bird named Claire, who's visiting her aunt and decides to climb to the mountain peak to get cell phone reception. The gameplay is all about exploration and movement. You can run, jump, and glide around the island using golden feathers you collect that increase your stamina. The island is filled with other animal characters relaxing on vacation, and you can chat with them to learn their stories or help with small favors. You'll discover hidden paths, race other hikers, go fishing, play beach stickball, and find tons of collectibles scattered throughout the island. The game gives you complete freedom to explore at your own pace, with no time limits or pressure to reach the summit quickly. The voxel art style with a pixelated filter creates a nostalgic, dreamlight quality that's both modern and retro. The soundtrack is peaceful and adapts as you climb higher up the mountain. Despite being called a short hike, you can spend hours just wandering around, finding secrets, and talking to everyone. The entire experience is designed to evoke the feeling of a perfect day outdoors, where you're not worried about anything except enjoying the moment and the journey itself.
Fantasy Life I, The Girl Who Steals Time, is a delightful blend of adventure and relaxation, offering one of the most charming, cozy experiences on Switch. You begin your journey on a mysterious island filled with secrets, where time itself plays a key role in shaping your adventure. What makes it special is the freedom it gives you to live multiple lives, switching effortlessly between roles like crafting, fishing, combat, or building, each adding depth to how you experience the world. The gameplay encourages exploration at your own pace. One moment, you might be tending a farm or furnishing your home, and the next, venturing into dungeons or helping townsfolk. The story unfolds naturally through discovery and connection, rather than urgency, giving weight to every small task and friendship you form. Its vibrant art style, gentle music, and satisfying life sim elements make the island feel alive, offering a sense of calm progress that's both rewarding and personal. It's a cozy escape where adventure and daily life coexist beautifully.
And that's our list of the top 35 best cozy games on Nintendo Switch for 2025. Whether you want to date household objects, restore an island paradise, or just seat people at tables, there's a cozy game here for everyone. What's your favorite cozy game on Switch? Let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe to SwitchTop for more Nintendo Switch content. Thanks for watching!